Okay, another week. So I just got back from New York last night around midnight. I'm up in Connecticut now, out hiking, and you can see it's like beautiful. It's like springtime. This is a good shot with all the green behind me. So we had the protest last Sunday, and then of the American Psychiatric Association, and then I did a live stream. I set up a camera and I live streamed the protest, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I live streamed these interviews all day, each day, of psychiatric survivors and alternative healthcare professionals, that type of thing. It was stressful. And I was in New York City. I don't really like the city. I think I've made videos where I've talked shit about the city before. It's just like concrete everywhere, people everywhere. It's like fucking intense. I stayed with a psychotherapist, this old lady, this kind of wonderful, delightful, kind of kooky old lady, who sort of struck fear into me a little bit, about, she's like, Jim, you're off medications, you're doing all the healthy things with your body, not drinking, not smoking, you're exercising, you're doing yoga, you're meditating, you're eating well, trying to get sleep. She goes, but what are you doing for your mind? And she kind of struck some fear into me, the idea that I'm walking around vulnerable. She's like, you're walking around naked. Not literally. But she's like, if you want to make sure that you don't end up back in a hospital, you need to figure out what's going on with your mind and your emotions. So I gave like this speech at the protest, which is pretty like compassionate, I was very nervous about giving a speech. I'd never spoken publicly like in that setting. I've done comedy, I've written, I've made some YouTube videos, and I haven't posted any of these ones. But hadn't spoken like publicly from the heart kind of thing. And then somebody interrupted my speech, which was really devastating. It was like, you want a speech to go perfectly. And I had written a script for the speech, but I didn't like have it in front of me word for word to say. And I didn't feel like the speech was quite finished. I felt like I had draft of it, but it wasn't done perfectly the way I wanted it. And so I didn't even like have it perfectly memorized or anything. I was so busy setting up this live stream and doing that I just ran out of time and never. Sorry, I'm like fidgeting so much. I'm like squatted down and doing this. Someone interrupted me. I guess they were offended and they like yelled out in my speech. Fuck it, we'll just do this so I could stand. And it was just they interrupted it in the middle, and like right when I was like really into it, and they threw me off. I felt like I'd hurt someone's feelings, and if you're like doing comedy and someone heckles you, you kind of have free range to insult them and knock them down. But this was like a psychiatric survivor that was offended by what I was saying, and here I'm speaking, thinking I'm helping people, and like this person speaks up that they're upset, and then of course it makes you wonder, are other people upset? Are you actually saying something negative? And then it seemed like the people had my back, but I just completely lost my place and my mind went to another spot, and so I was really upset about that. Plus like knowing that the damn thing is live on the internet, because I set up the fucking live stream. That's like played with me, and just I don't know, my sleep hasn't been great. Like I fall asleep. It's good, but I find a lot of times like in the morning I'm just kind of laying there and like my mind is sort of racing a bit. So I do like get to sleep at night, but in the morning I'm like waking up early, and I don't know. I'm just kind of nervous about. Like I'm off these meds. Am I in a safe place? Am I really walking around really vulnerable? Is this just part of the process? Is that woman kind of fear-mongering a little bit? She has some points. I remember like the day of the protest, I was just in another place because of all the stress from speaking and then being interrupted and all that. I just couldn't. I was kind of distant. And my ex-girlfriend was there at the protest, which it actually was really good. We hung out. It was really great, but there was some nervousness of that encounter. I knew she was going to be there, but it was some nervousness, and then like it was just like on my mind all fucking day about someone interrupting me and like what to do about it, and I was just like really tilted about it. And then like the next day, then I was like, oh, do I stay in New York? Do I leave? Do I stick around? Like, it was tough kind of. I mean, the woman that let me stay with her was really nice, but it was like, I'm not used to. I mean, it was a little bit kind of stressful balancing that. And then, like, I got a parking ticket, and I fucking hate, like, parking in cities, especially in New York. I mean, most people would say, oh, don't bring your car to New York. Like, you should leave it somewhere else and take the train in. But I had all the gear and all the equipment for the live stream. And then, so I got this ticket, and then I'm just fucking angry by that. And, like, I was, like, really getting, like, tilted by it. Really, like, emotional on it. And I was, like, thinking, geez, like, am I stable? Is this a normal response? Am I overreacting? Am I handling my shit very well? And I don't know if the answer to that's yes. So it's pretty nerve-wracking. And then, like, I posted as I was doing the counter conference Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, where these interviews I live streamed. I was posting this stuff to Reddit all over the place to, like, share it with people. And, like, I was getting a lot of pushback there. Some of it constructive, but some of it negative. And just, like, questioning, like, what am I doing? Is this just, like, all this self-doubt, and some of it reasonably so. Like, you got to figure out what your message is. What do you stand for? What things do I agree with the movement, so to speak, versus my own beliefs, and where do I... It's tough, like, this idea of being part of an organization, because you have an individual beliefs and policies or whatever. And then you got the organization, and you believe in what they're doing. And I actually do believe in everything Mind Freedom's doing, so I don't have an objection there. Maybe, like, the psychiatric survivor movement as a whole, I don't know if I agree with 100% of everything they say. But by being affiliated with it, then you kind of take on everything they do. And if you say something inappropriate or off base or something, then it affects the whole movement. It's like really this strange thing of being an individual versus part of a group thing that I'm not sure how it certainly is a little different than telling jokes in a lot of ways. All right, that's enough for this week.